Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Innocent Villains. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about.
I think we just get right into it, dude.
Yeah, Patrick Bet-David went ahead, and who did he interview? Benjamin Netanyahu.
The war criminal.
The war criminal, Prime Minister of Israel, has killed over 100,000 innocents, perhaps.
Possibly more. We really don't know.
Probably more. Exactly. We don't know. But it's very interesting. It's kind of shocking, considered that he doesn't want to interview Nick Fuentes because he says the N-word. But anyway, that's besides the point.
Oh, we forgot to set up the TV.
It's okay. We just watched from here.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it's besides the point. This is kind of infuriating, and the internet has been showing backlash, I think, to the couple podcasters that had Netanyahu on. You saw the Nelk boys. The internet was furious over that. And then you saw the guys from Trigonometry. They kind of gave like a softball interview. And that's kind of what this interview was a softball interview. Now, Patrick Bet-David, to his point, he did ask a couple of good questions, like hard-hitting questions, but he didn't follow up at all. He did not grill at all, and it was very frustrating. So this first clip that we're about to play is when PBD asks Netanyahu, what are the people in America who say that Israel owns America? Like, is that true? What does that mean? So we're going to play it for you, and you can have whatever opinion you're going to have. We certainly have an opinion. But yeah, take a listen. Here we go.
Prime Minister, what do you say to the critics who say, Israel owns America, Israel is who makes America do things they want them to do, whether it's through AIPAC, whether it's through, funding, money. You'll typically hear this. This has been overly said the last couple of years in a major way. And there's a community of Americans that at this point believe that whatever Israel wants, they make a phone call to America. America better do or else. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely not. I think it's full of hokum. First of all, do you know President Trump? I mean, sort of. I've known him for many years.
Sure.
Okay. You don't make him do anything. He does what he thinks is in America's interests, and he's very forceful about it. When he sees allies who don't step up to the plate, he's not shy about saying it. And we have a different relationship altogether. It's not one of coercion or manipulation. It's one of common interests and common values. And I think that people understand that because Israel is different. It really is. We know that we have to fight for ourselves, and we do. But when we fight for ourselves, we fight for you too.
And that's what he kept saying. It's very frustrating because no, they don't fight for themselves. We give them, on average, without the war, about $4 billion per year. And obviously, what we've done in the past 2 years, we've given around $20 billion roughly in the past 2 years to just fund them and give them weapons for this war to kill innocents. It's so frustrating how he deflects. You saw how he deflected. He immediately went to talking about Donald Trump and how, oh no, Donald Trump doesn't back down to anybody. And yet we see him pulling out the chair for Benjamin Netanyahu twice. Yeah. You see him exactly catering to all of his needs when Netanyahu makes multiple appearances at the White House, multiple visits. It's so frustrating. Because the American people don't want this. Our tax dollars, non-consensually, are supporting this war, supporting a genocide, an ethnic cleansing. And he continued to say in this interview, too, and I'll let you talk, I'm very sorry, I'm very passionate about this.
Go ahead.
How this is the only Jewish state, the one Jewish ethno-state in the world, and he referenced the Holocaust, and as he has been,
7th.
Right, October 7th, which is what started it, whatever. But you continue to go down the line, and he says, we're the chosen people, blah, 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 blah. And it's just so frustrating because 0 Israeli troops died in Iraq and Afghanistan in our wars. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I have the same stance as you. He deflected a lot. Talked about the Holocaust, talked about October 7th. I think I stand where everybody else pretty much stands, where as a country, the pedestal that Israel was put up on for the past how many decades is completely decimated. There's numbers out right now that are showing that the average American just does not look at Israel the same anymore. There's no respect for Israel anymore. Like you said, we've given them about $20 billion. On average, you can call it $3 billion. The excuse is that they're buying American weapons and all this, so it's getting generated back to us. However, we're giving them money to purchase American weapons that are being used for a genocide, for an ethnic cleansing, for this disgusting event that's happening, and I don't even know if we're discussing it, but the dual hospital bombing, the double tap that they
I know
had.
it just happened.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that,
No.
and I don't even think it's on the slate. But again, those are probably U.S. missiles being used there. Everything's being purchased through us, but I mean, it's disgusting.
And I believe now they bombed every single hospital in Gaza. Am I correct? There were 36
There's 36
hospitals, I believe.
hospitals, and they have bombed all 36 hospitals. And there's people like Officer Tatum, I believe, who came out and said something along the lines of, that I don't have the exact tweet, so I don't even want to quote.
I read what you were saying. You could look. We have it in the DMs, but
we have so many DMs. I'm just going to look them up.
Something else that really got me, and it got a lot of people in this interview, was Netanyahu said, quote, "We are fighting your war." And it's not our war.
Not even close.
We don't want to do this. The Palestinians are about to be extinct. This is a group of people, regardless of how you feel about Muslims, this is a group of people that they were here in this place, and it's an open-air prison is basically what's happening. And these people are being denied food for 3 straight months. Israel did not let food or any aid get into this open-air prison.
But it was Hamas.
Right. That's what they're saying.
Officer Tatum tweeted on August 26th, so that would have been a day after the hospital bombing or the day of the hospital bombing?
Yes.
Was that 2 days ago? Yeah. Okay. So when you have terrorists working out of a hospital, you can no longer expect them not to be a target. That's what happened the other day in Gaza. These terrorists operate from every hospital in Gaza with connected tunnels. It's Hamas's fault.
DM that to me so I can screenshot that and put that up on the screen.
Yeah. How can you even put it in that manner when you have how many bombs being dropped on a daily basis in Gaza? You have what do people go to fucking hospitals for, Luke? To get treated. That's where the doctors are. That's where those patients are. They cannot flee. And that was the other excuse that Netanyahu used, was that, we're giving them an option to leave. We notify them when something's on the way, they need to leave. Well, if you're in a hospital, and regardless if you are or not, when you're in a hospital, you're not exactly in a position when all the roads have been turned to rubble to just be tossed on an ambulance and drive out of the fucking hospital. So now we're sitting in a situation where you have patients and doctors and, the people that can give all these poor people who are getting obliterated care, they're all being blown up in this fucking hospital. And I'm saying fuck a lot, but I'm passionate about this.
It's very touchy.
Right. So someone also said in here, and I want to find the subtweet because it was a great point. Taylor Hansen, USA, that's his Twitter. Hey, Brandon, if a few terrorists have taken over a school in America, but there's hundreds of children in there as well, should we bomb it? No, like that's the exact same, I guess, situation that's going on. How do you justify killing innocents because Hamas is in there?
It's so crazy because a lot of these people claim to be pro-life.
Oh yeah,
and they're saying, but it is the complete opposite of being pro-life. And what we're seeing is a political realignment too. People on the right and the left are coming together on this issue. People that 5 years ago during the peak of COVID you wouldn't think would come together on anything.
Right. I'm gonna send you a video so we could watch it.
Just
so it's on
man.
here. Just
so
we can see the hospital bombing.
We'll see if YouTube allows it.
It should, because it's not really.
If it's not gory, we should be allowed.
It's not gory. It's just that picture that they all go up and smoke. But, I mean, for anybody who hasn't seen it, which the chances are that you haven't seen it are slim to freaking none.
It's freaking tragic, man.
It really is. How is this?
I'm tired of seeing all of these videos on X, on TikTok. I don't go on TikTok much, but I know it's there. The other day, I saw a video of a man holding up his child who had their head blown off.
Yeah, I sent you the video
of the baby with the
that
seizure.
was under the rubble that was in shock. I mean,
tragic, man.
It is tragic. It's tragic. It's disgusting. I don't know how we can continue to. I don't know how we can continue to allow this man to have a platform to speak. He has been tried as a war criminal. Did he not dodge re-election?
Well, he talked about this. Okay, so Patrick Bet-David asked him. We don't have that clip pulled up, but Patrick Bet-David said, like, hey, 119 countries or however many countries have said that you are a war criminal. The international whatever, I forget the
international, isn't it International War?
Yes,
Council?
Yeah, the International War Council said he's a war criminal, and he said, well, this is a corrupt organization. This organization is woke. He didn't mention, though, he failed to mention that they did the same thing to Hamas.
Yep.
So this is not one-sided. This is very much the same thing. This doesn't seem to be corrupt.
No.
And it's very frustrating. Anyway, but here's that video that you were talking about, that you were referencing.
Yeah.
About the building. So we'll play that now for you guys.
So mind you, I believe these are Reuters reporters and someone else. So they're all here to report. Now, again, we'll preface this video with reporters and journalists are not allowed on the Gaza Strip per Israel. Per Bibi Netanyahu, they are not allowed on the Strip.
Nobody.
So there was a bombing, and now this would be the second bombing. So they call it a double tap method. That's what they've been using. However, if you really look into it, is this not just a ploy to bomb a place, get more people there, get their helpers, or get their doctors, get aid, get first responders, and also get media coverage on that place to then bomb it again? Mind you, after this happened, Bibi Netanyahu comes out and says that they mistakenly bombed that hospital twice.
Which, I'm sorry, Shai, but I thought this was the most moral army in the history of humanity. That's what he's been telling us.
That's what they call themselves.
That's what Ben Shapiro's been telling us. It's just so frustrating. We're going to play this video for you. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Innocence.
If for some reason you guys don't see that clip, YouTube kind of flagged it and we had to edit it out. But nevertheless, it was a video of the hospital being bombed.
Go on Twitter, you'll find it.
That's tragic, man. And so we continue to see this, right? And normal people, normal hardworking people that just want to go on with their lives, they can't because we keep seeing this, okay? And we watched this whole interview. So to continue on, something else that Netanyahu said in this interview with PBD is that Iran has missiles already that can hit the United States, or that they plan to develop these missiles. And that's quite crazy considering that they're only enriching uranium to 60%, which is not the level that they can use to have missiles and have nukes that are weapons. So we'll play this video for you.
They're developing now ballistic missiles that can reach deep into the heart of Europe. Their plan is to develop, the next thing is an ICBM, an intercontinental ballistic missile that will reach 8,000 kilometers. You add another 3,000 and they can reach New York. Where are you broadcasting from, by the way?
Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Yeah, they can reach Florida, Fort Lauderdale, New York, Washington, Boston, and after that, any other city in the United States.
Classic fear-mongering by this guy who has been saying this since the 90s. Shahid, I thought that we blew up all of their missiles. I thought that we got rid of Natanz and Fordo. It seems like that was a lie.
It was. And you know who's been calling it a lie ever since? The only people that'll talk about it, which is Alex Jones and Nick Fuentes.
And us.
I mean, we all know that from the jump, Israel put the United States in a corner. They said, you're going to need to get in here. You're going to need to bomb them. They actively started bombing Iran after Donald Trump told them to stand down, backed us into a corner, forced us to get involved. We get involved, and now all of a sudden they're enriching uranium again. And now he's gonna turn the threat and say, oh well, they can hit the United States. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Can North Korea's nukes not hit the United States? Can Russia's nukes not hit the United States? Could the Middle East not hit the United States? To me, I can't stand the fact that this two-faced fuck is coming on in a show that's supposed to be an independent broadcaster.
Supposed to be.
Sitting there being treated with nothing but respect and pushback. And I understand why PBD brought up his last topic, but he really only had, in my opinion, 3 or 4 questions for him that they just kind of rambled on about a little bit, and then he finished up with Syria. But there was absolutely no pushback from Patrick Bet-David at all.
He has one more clip that we're going to play. He tried to confront Netanyahu on AIPAC controlling the United States, and we'll see where this goes. We're not going to play the whole thing. Here we go.
Say to the critics who say, Israel owns America, Israel is who makes America do things they want to.
We are fighting that war here. It's our Arab neighbors too. Incredibly brave soldiers. I said, well, to the weakness points, to the point of some compromise. Fight our enemies because the Holocaust says with you.
America first and America only, and that debate's going on right now, which is a great debate. I actually like listening to both sides make their argument. What you said, do you think President Trump is a type of a man that you can get anything you want and make him do what he wants? I don't think President Trump is. But I do think Biden and others are. So the whole criticism of the fact that Israel, whatever they want, they can call America and have faith.
All right, that was a false video. Anyway, sorry. It said it was
Slight
talking.
waste of time.
Yeah, sorry. It said it was talking about AIPAC, whatever, but I guess it didn't. We apologize for wasting your time. Okay, so PBD had on Netanyahu, who is considered by most to be a war criminal. Yet he still refuses to have Nick Fuentes on, specifically because he says the N-word. That is just a word. Nick Fuentes has not killed anybody. He's assaulted one person that tried to kill him, shut up his door. Nevertheless...
It was a woman. God only knows what she did. I'm not defending her, but
nevertheless, he responded to Nick because Nick called him out for having Netanyahu on his show. So we're going to play that clip for you as well, and then we both have some choice words to respond to him with. So here we go. We're going to play that one for you as well.
You platform Tate and use the same kind of language. Anyone who has seen my interviews knows I'm cordial and respectful, including on your own network with Adam. It's your prerogative, but I don't think anyone is buying this excuse. And Nick, great to see you here. Tate is half black, half white. His father is black. I believe you're white and Hispanic. He's talking about the N-word. Yeah. I may be wrong. By the way, you are cordial in interviews. Adam actually said that. However, you do get carried away post-interview at times when you react. And then is there a follow-up there? Is that it? Maybe that's it. No, okay. Seems like the goalpost is moving. Now the issue is that I'm using the N-word in my reaction. Not necessarily. I actually wouldn't mind sitting down and having a conversation with him. I'm just telling.
This is from Nick.
And
what
he
I'm
said
saying
that
to
multiple
him
times, and that's what bugs me. Is he continues to say, "Well, I would have no problem sitting down and having a conversation.
Yeah,
I would
he's not
actually
there.
enjoy it." Yet he refuses to invite him on. But he's going to have a war criminal. Nick had said it last night. Probably some, not all, but some of the people that he has say it behind closed doors. Listen, at the end of the day, it's just a word, and I understand that. It doesn't. I agree with PBD that. When you're talking about someone like Nick Fuentes, who's, you look at him, you see a white guy, you hear him say the N-word, you cringe a little bit because that's what, mainstream media has taught you to do, and you can't say that it's a no-no word. Understandable. However, to sit here and say that you won't have him on, how can someone like Candace Owens platform Nick Fuentes, a black woman, can look past the fact that he's using that word, but PBD's trying to put himself on this high horse?
I can tell you why. Because he's scared. We have a clip to back it up.
You want to know who I think says the N-word? I'll say it online. I think Vinny does.
I
think Vinny said it for sure.
I think he says it. He said it
Vinny
before.
said it for sure.
Not
Vinny
to trash him. He's my favorite person on that show. Well, Tom.
Tom is.
Say,
I think
Tom,
it goes Tom for me, and then it goes Vinny.
Tom's a fellow Catholic. God bless him. He's the rational guy.
Yeah,
on
Tom's
the
a good
set.
guy, and Tom always ratios
Yes,
Adam. Always.
Always.
Yeah.
But yeah, PBD is scared to have Nick on the show, so we're gonna play the video that shows why. Here we go.
So you can't be naive and not realize, oh my God, but look, that person's getting this many more retweets. And they got, what is the word? There's a phrase that if somebody puts a tweet below you and they get more, views. Ratio. They got ratio. Because yeah, of course that's going to happen. You think if I'm on that side, I'm not going to put 1 million bots to work? There's places there's businesses for this. But if I have someone on that Israel is furious, like let's just say if I have Nick Fuentes on, you know what Israelis are going to say? So disappointed in you. I can't believe you sold out. I can't believe you did this. They're going to say those types of things, okay? And maybe even try to actually get the interview to be flagged, okay? Like when we had Tommy Robinson on Minnect, story came out from the Times. I don't know if you have the story, Rob. Type in the Times. The Times could type in Tommy Robinson to Times and Minnect, okay? So they did a massive story, the Times, okay? With the story. They came, I don't know if people know this or not, Instagram blocked the Minnect account from being able to run ads for a year because of this Time story. Tommy Robinson charging $20 a minute out of his personal coach to the far right, the self-styled anti-Islam activist, and this is from UK. They reached out directly to Facebook to have this happen to Minnect.
And there you go. That's why he's afraid of getting the episode flagged. He's afraid of censorship. I thought this guy was supposed to be a patriot.
I thought so too. But when you really dig into everything, I mean, I've listened to PBD. I have my opinions about the panel as a whole, There's parts of the panel that I enjoy. There's parts that I don't. I simply think that PBD walks over everyone on his panel.
He does.
He tells people to calm down. He doesn't allow people to finish their statements. He tries to kind of move along. He takes control of this situation where, you know, obviously Nick pops up in his subtweets and they're starting to, you know, go at it and whatnot. I just feel like for someone as so prideful as Patrick Bet-David to sit there and say, well, I'm not going to have him on because I'm worried about being flagged by the Israelis. After you say that, the day after hosting Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's prime minister,
the most hated guy in the world.
Like, how the fuck does that make sense?
It doesn't.
You are worried that the Israelis are going to guess what? The Israelis might flag it, but you know who's going to love it? The fucking Americans. The ones who watch this show. Why are you worried about the Israelis? The people, you're talking about current events that are happening in America. Yeah, they're happening around the globe, but you have one Jewish guy on the fucking panel. Like, what do you care about the Israelis flagging the episode?
He's a guy claiming to be America first.
What do you care? What do you care? But you'll host fucking Candace Owens because she doesn't say the N-word. Yeah, she might be going at Israel. She might have some contempt for Israel.
She's also really dumb.
But but my point is you would be comfortable hosting someone like Candace Owens to come in there and talk about Israel, but you're uncomfortable with Nick Fuentes.
It's just a lie.
That does not make sense. I mean, of course it's a lie. It's a front. He doesn't want to be put on blast. He doesn't want Nick to go there. And also, I don't even want Nick to go there. I will say that firmly. Do I think that Nick would do a good job on there? Yes, but I have seen how interviews go there when you are not a Trump humper, when you are not someone who agrees with everyone on the panel. You're going to get backlash from Adam. He's going to get it's a 4-on-1 when you walk in there.
But it depends. Is it going to
If
be
he
a
hasn't,
is it
right,
going
is
to be
it
a
gonna be
one-on-one
like
interview like the guy
correct.
from Ben and Jerry's, which I thought was a really, really good interview? That guy's all the way on the left, borderline communist, but you were able to see his human side, and
Right.
you kind of liked him at the end of it. I don't know. If they do the 4-on-1 though, I do fear for Nick.
Right.
But nevertheless, I do think it's a show for good. I think it's a good show.
I mean,
but,
it's a conversation, and that's
right.
the other part of it.
And like they're so business heavy too in some parts of the show, which is very, very helpful when they talk about the market.
Right.
But I do agree with you. He does like to kind of talk over his co-hosts,
Yeah.
and kind of shut them up.
Yeah, I don't think it would necessarily go well. I would say just steer clear of it. Keep ratioing him on Twitter. I mean, listen, I would say that for the most part, I had or have still respect for Patrick Bet-David. I think
Absolutely.
he puts on a great show. I think he does truly do a good job with the panel. They talk about a lot of good things, especially everybody on the panel like we talked about. Adam, probably my least favorite, simply because he's got some choice things that I don't necessarily agree with.
Agree.
It has nothing to do with him being Jewish, to be honest with you. It's just, I mean, he does like to protect Israel from time to time. We just saw the clip about the Israeli government official who, I mean, he was whatever. He worked in computer logistics or something for Israel, but. And then he had a problem with the fact that the time that the headline read Israeli government guy arrested for sexual sting. Oh, but there's 6 other guys, blah, blah, blah.
And then he calls out the Catholic Church out of nowhere.
Right. He's deflecting. Everybody on that show, or I should at least say PBD, but I've seen Vinny have some bad moments on there too. Everybody's going to have their bad moments. I think this is not a great moment for Patrick Bet-David. I don't think he thought when he tweeted out that he put the kids to bed and all this was happening that, it would go this way.
Yeah.
That was in the tweet that started it all off was, I'm putting the kids to bed. I'm going to respond to tweets about the interview for the next 30 minutes and then kind of, got engulfed in what was going on with Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, and to piggyback off at the beginning of the first video that we played, he was talking about Andrew Tate. Nick said that Andrew Tate's not all black. He's like half white, half black, and he uses the N-word, whatever, and that's why they were talking about Tate in the beginning. He was referencing to the leader of, I believe it was, what militia did PBD interview? He interviewed the head of the militia. It was one of the guys that wear the masks over their faces.
That's all of them.
Yeah.
The Proud Boys?
No, it wasn't the Proud Boys. It was the other one.
Is it a white militia?
Anyway, it doesn't matter. He interviewed one of the hosts, one of the leaders of one of those white militias, Freedom Watch or something like that, and he had them on, and it was like a good interview, yet he won't interview Nick. So that's a little bit crazy. It's a little bit weird. We'll see. We'll follow the development of that. If he goes on, he goes on. If not, oh well. Nevertheless,
I got a question for you, Luke,
Go
because
ahead.
I just I stumbled upon this tweet here, so I'm going to send it to you, and you can put it up on the screen. Do you think, now that we're talking about Benjamin Netanyahu and we're talking about Patrick Bet-David,
Right.
I saw Patrick Bet-David, Benjamin Netanyahu wearing, the Israel flag on a pin, not sitting behind a U.S. flag or anything like that.
That's interesting. I didn't catch on to that.
Yeah, it was just a couple things that I was thinking about. It's a sign of respect. I mean, I understand that's your country, but you're also talking to somebody from the U.S. They're your greatest ally. I'm sure there's not a single U.S. flag other than where probably not a single U.S. flag being flown.
I mean, we run the country. We fund all of it. So,
do you think that there's a U.S. flag being flown over in Israel anywhere?
nope.
Okay, well, great. Well, the Beverly Hills School District, that would be in California, has approved a resolution requiring Israeli flags to be displayed across all campuses in May. What do you think about that? Any hot takes off the top of the dome? I'm throwing it in there. We weren't planning on it.
I mean, I can tell you who I think has lots of influence at that school. And it's not the Palestinians.
I'm sure it's not. Is it Hamas?
No.
The funders of Hamas?
No, it's not Iran.
No, it'd be the funders of Hamas.
Right.
The people who started Hamas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Isn't it? Isn't that just weird that we bend over for another? I mean, could you imagine that being any other country?
Last time I checked, this is America.
Right. Last time I checked, the Holocaust happened because of Germans.
And it was tragic. The numbers are still being debated, but it was tragic.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
It's something that they always use as a crutch, and now they use October 7th. The 1,200 Israelis that died on October 7th, in comparison to now a famine, a starvation, a genocide, an ethnic cleansing of the Gaza Strip. I mean, this is just insane.
They love to hide behind. I'm sorry to.
No, go ahead.
They love to hide behind the Holocaust, but like every racial group has been around for so long. This might sound dumb, but I'm going somewhere.
Go ahead.
Every single religious group, race, at one point or another in the history of the world has had a horrible thing happen to them, okay?
Yep.
You have this thing with the Palestinians now, which is tragic, which is genocide. You had the Holocaust, which was tragic, which was genocide. You had something like the Bolshevik-led revolution back in Russia when they had 20 million Christians that were killed. That was genocide. That was awful. So different religions, different ethnic groups from time to time can pick out something that's their crutch that they can use and say, hey, we were discriminated against. A mass group of us were killed. This does not mean you can excuse the actions in the present. That's all.
Agreed. I agree 1,000%. I want to switch gears because I really do now want to talk about this shooting that happened today.
Well, it's a good thing we have that next.
I know. Because I want to see how long this is, because if it's insanely long, which
we can start with the police video.
You can. So basically his manifesto that was written in, let me see here, some Russian language, but primarily English words spelled phonically with Cyrillic characters and some English words. So it's basically, it's all been translated now. It's all been translated and we can read it here, but I don't want to get into the whole thing because it's very long.
It was very dark. To piggyback off what you're saying, this whole thing, obviously,
very dark.
Obviously, the school shootings that we've been talking about on this show when we cover them, very dark. But this
isn't that an insane statement to have to make when we cover them? We've only been doing this fucking podcast for 4 years.
4 years,
call it.
And we've only covered a couple.
But the fact that we've had to cover any at all is just
very, very dark.
It's infuriating.
And this one happened specifically in a Catholic church. The shooter shot through stained glass windows and killed multiple kids who were at a school mass. Oh, and it's just so infuriating. Anyway, we're gonna play this first video. And it's just one of the sheriffs in the Minneapolis or Minnesota county that was describing this. And as of
it happened in Minneapolis.
Yeah. And as of 12/16, there were 2 children, ages 8 and 10, that were killed, with 17 others injured. including 14 children, with 2 in critical condition following the Catholic school shooting. So we're going to play this video of the sheriff kind of summarizing everything, talking about the situation, and then we're going to go into that manifesto and other things. But just a tragic situation overall, man.
2 young children, ages 8 and 10, were killed where they sat in the pews. Their parents have been notified. 17 other people were injured, 14 of them being children. 2 of those children are in critical condition. The coward who fired these shots ultimately took his own life in the rear of the church. Our hearts are broken for the families who have lost their children, for these young lives that are now fighting to recover, and for our entire community that has been so deeply traumatized by this senseless attack. We will stand together to protect our children, our schools, and our houses of worship. This deliberate act of violence is just a sign of cruelty that is beyond comprehension. Our hearts are broken for everyone that's been affected by this tragedy.
Okay, so there's one. And I'm interested to see where you want to take this, because I have a couple videos in the clip ready.
No, you're good.
But you tell me about what
we're not going to read this because it's very long.
And it's dark. I've read a couple pages of it before this.
Yeah. So basically where I wanted to take this was tying in with, I guess, Israel. Because I got very heated today. So the shooter was Jewish. So I've been seeing nothing but subtweets on these big things like this that say, don't forget to say that the shooter was Jewish. Don't forget to say the shooter was Jewish. Don't forget he was Jewish. Don't forget he was Jewish. He had anti-Israel remarks all over his guns.
It was anti-Israel. I think it was anti-Trump. It was anti-Christian. Yeah.
It was pro-Holocaust. He said 6 million wasn't enough.
It was a trans shooter as well. A bunch of things were going on.
So, but here's my problem: is this is my problem. Is fucking children died, man.
Exactly.
Kids' lives were lost. Kids' lives were traumatized. Injuries. 2 still in critical condition. So God forbid, there ends up being 4 casualties from this event or more. God only knows. But we're going to sit here and we're going to say, don't forget he's Jewish. Don't forget he's Jewish. I can give a fuck about what his fucking religion is. At this point in time, I truly do not think somebody who had all that written on his guns, I don't think that it was a Jewish hating a Catholic in this scenario. Maybe it was. But at the end of the day, to say, oh, don't forget he's at no point does it matter that he was Jewish in this moment.
Yeah.
In this moment. I mean, we're talking an hour after this event. Or after he was, not even an hour. I mean, it would be 2 hours, 3 hours, however long after he was identified. And we're immediately jumping on. That's, I guess my problem, I have a little problem with the red pill, is that I think it goes too far sometimes, where we're focusing on the fact that this guy was a Jew. And we should be focusing on the fact that children's lives were lost regardless of what his agenda was in this exact moment. Let's read the transcripts or his manifesto. Let's read his letters. Let's figure out what was going on. Because if you really look into it, I mean, he was trans, so he had mental issues. He thought he had lung cancer from vaping. He had thought about, mass murders before. His mom just retired from working there.
Yeah, we have that article pulled up too.
So there's a million different bits and pieces to put into it, and to immediately just go, oh, he's Jewish. Like that to me, it just bugged me because it didn't sit right. It didn't seem like it was the proper time to need to bring that up.
Yeah.
And I don't know where you're at with this, but sometimes I think the red pill just goes a little too deep, and we need to be a little bit more sensitive. Not sensitive, because I'm not sitting here saying, oh, we need to protect that side. You know what I mean?
No, but I understand what you're saying. We have to be understanding. Full disclosure, I had no clue the shooter was Jewish until right now.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
But here's what pissed me off, what I was focusing on. So we have 2 clips. And the first is from the Minneapolis mayor. Now, this is Jacob Frey, who presided over Minneapolis being burned during the George Floyd riots in 2020 when they burnt down the city. Listen to what he says about the shooting in general.
These were Minneapolis families. These were American families. And the amount of pain that they are suffering right now is extraordinary.
Mind you, Jacob Frey is Jewish.
Don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying.
Listen to what he said again. He said, don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now.
Don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now.
I think thoughts and prayers would help.
Right.
Don't you think?
I think at the minimal.
At the minimum.
But this is also a Democrat who's going to come for gun control.
But this isn't the last time that somebody said this, though. This is Dana Bash on CNN saying relatively the same thing.
He's expressing something that I know you feel and most people feel, which is a combination of sadness but raw rage. Forget about thoughts and prayers.
Forget about thoughts and prayers.
Is he? So hang on a second, because I'd like to. Is she reading that directly as something he said? Let's let the video finish. Just
these kids were literally praying when they were murdered through a church window.
Okay, so she's quoting exactly what he said. I'm not trying to give any props to Dana Bash or CNN, but I'm just trying to be moral here and say it's not like she was taking that. It's not like she exactly said that sentiment because of, it came to her, it came off the top of her head. That was something that she was reading that Jacob Frey had just said. Her eyes went down. She was reading. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt.
Was she quoting that for sure?
I think so. Look at when she looks down. It's not like she's looking at the camera.
Does she say
says
she's
the exact word? Go to the very beginning.
So you're saying, hold on, let me put it back. So you're saying she's reading it like as his quote. It's his quote.
I believe so.
Because my concern was, is this a transcript that they're giving everybody?
Right. Because this is
what they used to do during the whole election.
Yeah.
We'll play this one more time then.
I mean, he's expressing
he as in Jacob Frey
that I know you feel and most people feel, which is a combination of sadness but raw rage. Forget about thoughts and prayers. These kids were literally praying when.
You see what I mean? She never specifically said he
yeah,
said.
I think
she's looking down back and forth, but. The Democratic Party in general, I mean, the left, they're very good at messaging.
Right.
So maybe this was a planned thing. Or maybe let's just be charitable. She could have been quoting him and just the magnitude of the whole situation. You're right.
Correct.
We don't know.
Because I think that's why she put an emphasis on literally, which it makes me think if you're putting it into the perspective of if I was watching this CNN, broadcast, they had just came from the Jacob Frey clip. So I'm wondering if she was just re-emphasizing.
She could have, but
however,
the video was unclear.
That's probably the worst fucking clip to be playing at this moment, or the worst thing to be reiterating. Forget about thoughts and prayers.
That's crazy.
They were literally praying. Yeah, understandably that they were literally praying when a sociopathic transgender shot through stained glass window, killing 2 children. At the end of the day, and I don't know where you stand on this, churches, hospitals, schools, daycares, we have so much fucking money as a country that we give out to everyone else. Everyone else. We give tax breaks to the rich. We continue to send money overseas. We fund Ukraine. We fund Israel.
Free healthcare for the migrants.
We do all these things, but yet we can't fund national security that involves a grouping of national security where you have at least one fucking armed cop or security member, someone who is sitting there at a elementary school, at a middle school, at a high school, at a hospital, at a daycare, anywhere that there are children or people that cannot protect themselves. That is my only, because the Democrats are going to continue. Zoran Mamdani, Jacob Frey, I guarantee you in the next couple of days is going to twist this into some sort of gun control.
It's not just him.
They always do, though. But here's what I'm saying. All the Democrats always, are you going to show me a Republican saying the same thing? Cool. That's ridiculous. It put me even further away from the fucking Republicans. But you're going to sit here as a Democrat and you're going to push for gun control, the same that they always do after every mass shooting. The difference is you are never going to stop the bad people from getting the guns. You're never going to stop the drug addicts from getting the drugs. You're never going to stop any of these people from doing what they want to do. You're never going to, unless we arms. Like I want to know, and it's never a study that's going to actually be able to be proven. But I want to know how many shootings we would have if we would just have one single armed security guard there on the premises at all times. Like, as a shooter, I mean, maybe that would be your first target.
It might be a deterrent. I think
that's
metal
what I'm
detectors
saying.
would
That's
be.
what I'm saying.
We've talked about this before. Having metal detectors in the schools
Yep,
would
that's a
certainly
big
help.
one.
But Democrats say, "Oh, well, we don't want it to be like a big security." Why not? These kids are precious. These are precious lives.
We don't want it to be. We don't want it to be a big security detail there. I will tell you right now, as a father, I would rather have my son walk through a goddamn metal detector or walk past a trusted security officer that is there to protect him than to 50-50 it with a bunch of fucking teachers that know nothing about defending our kids other than telling them to get into a corner and locking the goddamn door.
I mean, when you don't give them any tools to help, I mean, that's
Not
all
a
they
one.
can do. It's
Not a
infuriating. So to transition now, this is Trey Gowdy, one of the Fox News hosts, a Fox News political pundit, somebody that's traditionally on the right, calling for gun control after this terrible shooting in Minneapolis.
Our system is reactive. Something bad happens, we react to it. And what people are crying for now is, how can we prevent this? How can we stop it? And the only way to stop it is to identify the shooter ahead of time or keep the weapons out of their hands. And so we're going to have a conversation of freedom versus protecting children. I mean, how many school shootings does it take before we're going to have a conversation about keeping firearms out? It's always a young white male, almost always. I mean, did anyone this morning think, I wonder if that was a female? Did any of y'all think that? I mean, there's been one school shooting involving a female. One. Yeah, Tennessee. But other than that, it is usually young white males.
Technically, he wanted to be a female. On a technicality here. However, to hear a Republican utter those words, it's just disgusting. Talk about not knowing your demographic. That is not... The fact that is even uttered as a possibility of why this is going on, because it's a young white male who is having these problems. Let's look into the factors here. Let's talk about... and I've said it on this show before. I understand you have clouded judgment around your kids, but guess what? The minute your kid tells you they want to be something else, the minute your kid starts acting a little funky, which I've seen the pictures, your kid looked fucking funky. Let's fucking do something about that. Did you see all the pictures of what this guy looked like?
I did.
2 years ago, 3 years ago. God damn it! He had a fucking YouTube video reading. What was he reading? An instruction manual on like a Dyson air fryer or something. Like it's. Like, those are just weird things. Let's as a whole, as a country, let's start talking about the weird kids, because I'll tell you what, the school shooter is never the high school quarterback.
That's correct. It's always
never the fucking high school quarterback.
It's always the incel. It's always the isolated person that is maybe socially awkward and gets made fun of and doesn't feel accepted. We've covered this time and time again, and I just don't know when it's going to click. And it's always the same thing. Now, here's what you might start seeing. Okay, we want to prevent this before it happens. Here's Palantir.
Yeah.
That's probably what I can see happening. You want advanced background checks? You want to prevent this before it happens?
Yeah.
I fear we get to a point where you have something like a Palantir that's introduced. They already have contracts with the CIA. They have contracts with these local state governments. Say, hey, we have a drone. We're gonna heavily police you. We're going to heavily just get all of your information and continue to watch you detail after detail. Right. We're going to monitor all of your messages, all of your texts. I don't know
all
if
of
it's
your
a good
search
thing.
histories.
It's going to be another Patriot Act, bro. This is, mark my words, they're going to try and do this shit.
No, I guarantee you.
They're going to try and do this shit. We're just not going in a very good route, no matter how you slice it. The thing is, though, once again, we'll reiterate this. I will reiterate this. I really don't think it's a gun thing. I think it's more of a mental health thing.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. RFK talks about this. We pulled this up on the show. He said in the 60s when he was in high school, they had a gun club. They had all these different types of guns that were accessible, and they trained after school. They shot after school. It was part of they literally had a team.
Dude, not only that, I know I've heard stories of people's great-grandparents talking about the fact that, oh, I'm going hunting after school with my dad, so I'm bringing my rifle to school. That literally fucking happened. Like,
And
we are
so-
such a twisted up society now. It's not even funny. Can you bring up the images of what? I'm sorry if you had a statement to make.
I was. It's fine.
Bring up the images of what he had written on his firearms.
Oh Lord, I don't even know if I can post this though because I'm afraid of YouTube. I'm gonna put it on here for us, but I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna put it on the screen.
Oh God, that's probably even worse. They're gonna have clippets, or they're gonna have us just reading shit.
I really don't want to put this on though because I'm afraid that they're going to take it down.
That's fine.
But all I can say is just the direct correlation with technology and the phones, and as it became more and more prominent, this is when you started to see everything happening. It just keeps going up. So I don't think the phones were good for us. I've been saying this for a while. I don't think the phones were good for us. I've been trying to get off of social media myself, but the
I
correlation,
respect that.
the
I've been
correlation,
watching that.
but the correlation with young kids, man, and we introduced this technology. It was introduced to us at a young time, and our parents couldn't prepare us for what was happening. You have young girls that are cutting themselves. You have boys that are seeing their friends not hanging out with them on the weekends. They didn't get invited. They didn't know something was happening. And they see it in real time in their home instead of traditionally you heard about it on Monday for a couple minutes and it sucked that you weren't invited to something, and that's what it was. You push it all the way down, you forget about it, but now you're seeing it in real time. You're seeing the pictures on Instagram, Snapchat, you're seeing these videos. It's enough to make a kid feel like shit. Mm-hmm. And you feel this enough, I can guarantee, I can put myself in their shoes, unfortunately. Maybe you pair it with a couple other things, you don't have a good home life, maybe you're God forbid, getting abused, and you just want to take it out on these kids who are making you feel like shit. I just don't think that. I think the correlation with the technology being introduced to kids at a young age, it's not good, and I think it's just a recipe for disaster. I'll continue to say that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we could probably stop giving this disgusting piece of shit any of our airtime, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't even want to read these statements that are written
It's
on his
bad,
firearms.
man.
You
It's
guys can go
bad.
do it yourself, especially if we're just going to be reading them. That's
really
not going to paint
bad.
us in a good light at all. But it's just, I don't know when people are going to get it. I mean, it's not the guns, it's the it's the kids. Something needs to change. It's not the guns. It's not the guns.
Not to sound generic, but we just have to continue to pray for the victims, pray for the families. That's all it is.
It's not about thoughts and prayers right now, Luke. They were literally sitting in pews praying.
It's crazy that they would utter that. It's so crazy. You don't hate the media enough. You really don't. They tried to make it, the red pill people, unfortunately, I fall into this category, although I didn't know the shooter was Jewish. They make it about Jews, and then the media makes it about guns. It's not just the left-wing media now. It's both sides. They make it about guns traditionally, like they always have, and it goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and no rational...
Oh no. I might need to backtrack.
Go ahead.
From the AF Post, viral claims that the Minneapolis Catholic shooter was Jewish appear to be fake.
Okay, so they're false.
And honestly, I kind of wondered that as well. If his mother was working at that church, why would a Jew... Why, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
why would she be working at a Catholic church? So,
But nevertheless,
I was
I-
kind of wondering the same thing. I didn't know if they were Jewish. And of course, we're gonna clip this, and then the first half of the clip's gonna be me saying that he's Jewish, and maybe we should put a little header on there that says, "Hey, wait, remember?" Well, it's exactly what happened during the whole.
Yeah, I know. But it got us views. So.
The Gavin Newsom video. Yeah, we got shit on there.
But it is just so crazy. Once again, it is very tragic. You do not hate the media enough. But I feel like Americans, we're just tired of this. But there's no rational solution. It's always one or the other extreme. There's no another classic thing when people are like, okay, well, we need mental health care, but nobody really knows what that is. Like, normal people don't know what that is. Do you know what that is? I don't.
Well, I'm sorry, I blacked out. What were you? What is?
Just talking about more mental health care. When people say on the right, like, we need more mental health care.
Do you know what that would be?
Yeah, I have no clue at all what that would look like.
No, I mean,
I have no experience at all.
I would imagine that what they're trying to push would then just be therapy for all, pills on all, tranquilizers for all. You know what I mean?
But I feel like when people on the right say we need more mental health care in response to people on the left saying we need to ban guns, I don't think it's genuine.
No, it's not. It's just one side deflecting, the other side deflecting. I mean, nobody really knows how to stop this.
It's just infuriating.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have a child. I do not have a child yet. I would like children. But it's very infuriating. Know that eventually, they'll be growing up in this world. It's
And not even growing up in this world. Like growing up, when I think of growing up, you know what I mean? Like he's young now. Where is this world going to be in 16 years?
Probably
when
worse
he's
off.
18. Where's this world going to be when he's 16, 15, 14, 13? Those influential years, you know.
The core memory years.
Yeah. And I think this shooter was, what, 23? Something like that?
22.
22?
Well, maybe 23. He was born in 2002, obviously.
Yeah.
Died in, so, yeah, 23.
Yeah. So it's just...
Tragic,
dude,
man.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
To a lighter topic. What do you want? We got a couple more on the slate here. We're about 50 minutes in. We're almost an hour in.
Yeah, I know. We'll let's see here, because I know the slate had one that I just can't bear to fucking talk about. I could give a fuck less. I have a fuck less.
I have a rant though.
Yeah, that's fine. We could go on to it because there was another. Let me. Okay, you open it up and then let me see if I can find this post.
How about this? I'm gonna set it up. I'm gonna tee it up for you just so you can knock it out of the park.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, folks. Taylor Swift. Do you know her? I guarantee you do. Taylor Swift and her longtime boyfriend, future Hall of Famer, NFL tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, Travis Kelce, are now engaged. Did you know? If you don't know, now you do.
Of course you knew.
Here are the photos of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Look at that. This picture-perfect couple.
That ring's butt fucking ugly. Can we talk about that?
They have more money than you and me will ever have.
Yeah.
That's all. But look at these pictures, okay? Look at that ring. Let's see that ring. That's the ring. I'm not going to hate. She's married. God bless her.
Engaged.
And you're right. Shit. Engaged.
You're married.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Okay. So a lot of people they're kind of happy about this. Would you say they're kind of happy?
I guess
Here's
so.
a professor that canceled class because he just can't deal.
Have a biochem midterm today, but Taylor and Travis just got engaged. Due to this information, I can't focus. You all can't focus. Class is canceled. Get out of here. We gotta go. We need time to...
Hey, man. What the fuck?
We just talked about, hang on a minute. Before we started recording, we were just talking to your wife about student debt. Okay? Like we were just talking about like $40,000 worth of just glooming student debt. And could you imagine paying $40,000 to get an off day because some celebrities got fucking engaged?
I can't focus.
That's
what he
nuts.
said.
That
is what he said. And so here, to finish my point here, because I do have a point.
I saw someone on, I think it was Twitter or Facebook, one of the two, and it was like, it's like Taylor Swift has hundreds of songs about breakups and not one about sucking dick. I wonder what the problem is.
That's crazy. But there was this one TikTok, okay, from this one girl that I screenshotted.
Yeah.
It says right here, Taylor Swift didn't start dating Travis until she was 33. She's engaged at 35. You have time. Folks, here's the problem with this. By the way, good for them getting engaged. Hopefully they follow through. Unlike a lot of celebrities, hopefully they get married.
And let's preface this. I don't have a single lick of hate for Travis or Taylor Swift.
No.
However, I hate the people who are absolutely floored by this.
Right. Like, these people should definitely have more going on. And it's kind of a testament to America right now that so many people aren't engaged in actual life, that this is like their religion. Here's what I would say. Folks, traditionally in our society, in most societies, marriage was the gate to adulthood. Marriage was the first step of becoming a real adult. That's kind of like what it was for me. Now, marriage is like the last step to becoming an adult. We're told now to get it all out of the way and then get married. Mm-hmm. But the problem is, by the time you do get married, in this case, Taylor Swift is engaged at 35, that's a geriatric pregnancy. Mm-hmm. The problem is that we don't have the replacement rate that we need to continue our society without importing cheap labor. Because we're not reproducing at the rate that we need it to. I'm trying to put it in like really
a global standard.
Yeah, really just like a dumb point. I'm trying to make it as stupid as possible so you could understand. now we don't have people getting married young, and this is being like the first big step. So while this is good, this is like the model for an entire generation, the entire millennial generation that has been taught to, hey, put the family on the back burner.
Right.
And
there's the hoe phase.
And it's not
there's the hot girl summer. There's the let's just play the field.
Well, I'm not even talking about that necessarily.
Well, I'm just talking about generationally, like that's what these kids are being told.
Right, but I'm saying men and women were taught and coerced by different things. We can talk about the different forces, but they've been coerced to put the family on the back burner and focus on career now, focus on themselves now, which is not going to turn out very well when we look 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, when we Americans, native-born Americans, aren't replacing at the rate that's necessary to continue the society. Good for them, but this is not a model that you should follow. These are celebrities. These are not real people. This is not your life. Taylor Swift takes a 10-minute plane ride, legit, to go from, I don't know,
Bangkok to Hong Kong.
Yeah, like something stupid. She can do that. She's a billionaire. She's not you. Don't make your life like Taylor Swift. You should focus on finding the one.
So can we...
That's all.
No, I hear you.
It's just such a tragedy.
I wanted to have a little conversation.
Let's have a conversation.
So here's where I'm at with this. Because I think culturally and economically, we are being taught to, put your career first. I don't necessarily think that that's a terrible thing.
Well,
in the moment.
In this economy, yes. But this economy...
That was my only argument, and now that you agreed with me,
But this economy has only been like this for a handful of years.
Correct.
This messaging has been going on for the last 15.
Correct.
That's the problem.
Yeah, and I would agree with you.
I would argue the messaging is a reason why we're here.
It's a good possibility, yeah.
Because the rate of replacement and stuff like that, and how when millennials in particular, I know I'm picking on them, but I'm really not, were in college, started about, 2005, 2004. What's the oldest millennial, like 41 right now? It's like, we'll just say early.
I don't even know if they're 40. No, I don't think they're 40.
You don't think?
No. What's the millennial?
Look it up. Early 2000s is when this whole thing started to come about, when they were being messaged, hey, put everything on the back burner. You can do it.
Okay, yeah. Oldest would be 44.
44. Okay, so yeah, early 2000s. And they're hearing this messaging, and when the world tells you something's okay, eventually you're going to start to believe it. And I'm not even saying this on like a moral, I'm not even coming from like a moral space. Like legit, we are not replacing ourselves quick enough. And so the corporations that traditionally employed these people are saying, hey, listen, we can't find anybody. Mm-hmm. Or they're skipping over people because it costs too much money to employ Americans.
Yeah.
So they're taking the migrants from, when it comes to physical labor, they're taking the migrants, the illegals from Mexico, from South America, from all those countries, your Brazil, your Venezuela, all that. And then you have the tech companies that we've been talking about, where they're taking 600,000 H-1B Chinese foreign workers, and then the H-1B workers from India, and because they're able to pay them less for more. And it is...
I'm in agreement.
It is just so infuriating. And you kind of start to align with the progressives a little bit. And I'm on the right. You're somebody who I think is on the right, but you could go either way. I don't want to speak for you, but
I can't go left. I'm on the right,
yeah.
but I'm very much neutral. But we're not speaking about my point.
It's just so infuriating though, because you start to agree with the progressives, like the Kyle Kalinskis, like the Cenk Uygurs, like the Anna Kasparians, in particularly when they're dissecting all of these corporations. And you start to see, like, yes, these corporations are actually evil. I'm not saying that Luigi was justified, but these corporations are not doing themselves any favors at all. And when we are the demographic that is being impacted by these corporations, not me in particular because I own my own company, but other people that are they're getting out of college, right? Mm-hmm. They have a mechanical engineering degree. Maybe they paid couple $1,000, $100,000 in student loans in some of these cases, and they cannot get work. The unemployment rate for Gen Z men is 7%. That would be a recession if it was the majority. Crazy.
That's insane.
Crazy.
That's absolutely
and nobody's
ridiculous.
talking about it.
No, because why would you in this economy? You know what I mean? Like they've pushed you to a point where you have to put career first because it's physically impossible to own a home, to have that beautiful starter family.
And I didn't mean to jump from Taylor Swift to this, by the way, but this is where it's gone.
It was a hard jump, but I mean, honestly, who the fuck wants to sit here and talk about Taylor Swift for the next 20 minutes? But no, I mean, I listen. At the end of the day, I was not ready to be a father. Being a father has been the greatest blessing of my life, but it makes you mature and it makes you realize that it is a beautiful thing to have a family, to have a child, to have a home, to have all those things. But where we are now as a society, and where we are, what we're being preached is that having a child is not necessarily something that is beautiful and something that you know, it's something that halts your life. You can't just be this free-natured, you know, go everywhere, do anything kind of person because you have something that holds you down financially, physically, mentally, like all these things. Continue.
I would argue that being a free person, though, to a degree, is actually really unhealthy. Like, I know if I didn't find my wife, which is crazy to say, but
wife.
Yeah, but if I wasn't with her, then I would be like this crazy.
You'd still be going to the bars.
I'm already crazy. Yeah, but like this crazy free person, right? Going to the bars every Friday, Saturday night, just like continuously looking for something else. I was already religious then, but I didn't really have purpose, bro. You don't have purpose. It's a lonely life, especially when you look at somebody like a Bill Maher, who, yes, might on the surface be enjoying being like 71 years old, I think he is, and single. And
yeah, he's a free soul, and he could do whatever. And
who's the female comedian? The lady.
Roseanne Barr?
No, the blonde one that's single. She's like 49, obnoxious, single, really relishing being single.
Is it Liza Minnelli?
No. Why am I blanking on her name?
Single blonde comedian?
Yeah, she does very well. Her, top, go to the top.
This one?
I can't believe I can't. That's not her. I can't remember her name. She's
she on the Daily Show?
No. Damn. This is really this. No,
Leanne Morgan?
No. Damn. She's like 40. This is really curtailing my argument. I'm so sorry. Oh, come on. She's like these
are actresses. Stand-up comic?
Yeah. Anyway, this female comedian, she really relishes being single and being able to just be free and all that. But I feel like it's really a lonely life, not having a family, not having. Why can't I remember her name? She is like the famous comedian.
Does she have Netflix specials?
She has to.
Nikki Glaser?
It's not Nikki Glaser. It's the older one.
What the fuck? What's her name? Like, now I'm not 100% sure who you're talking.
No. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
I probably do as soon as we find out who it is. Who cares? We're late in the show and we're doing research. These people can wait. We're connecting dots here.
Where is she? Oh, it's bothering me.
And it's not that girl right here.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we can sit here and figure it out. And I'm not leaving until we do. I'm not changing topics till we do. I'm already.
It's the Travis. Okay, Travis Scott has that intro to Utopia. It's called Hyena. He makes the Kelsey Grammer line, and then he makes the other line, and he references as this comedian. Chelsea Handler. I'm sorry, that's really aggressive. I've had too much coffee, okay? I feel very bad for somebody like a Chelsea Handler who she's very out there.
Yes, Chelsea fucking Handler.
A very successful comedian, okay? We're not taking that away from her, but she constantly talks about how she doesn't have kids and she's free and fuck a family and fuck a husband and fuck all that and how, oh, that's so bad, whatever. And I just feel bad. Because I don't want to put myself in her shoes, but I would suspect that it would be very lonely to be 49 years old without a husband, without a child, because I equate that with purpose. And maybe she doesn't feel that, and if not, God bless her.
So she's never married?
No.
She is never married?
Never married, no.
Wow.
Doesn't want to marry, which is her prerogative, whatever. But I don't know if this is the best message to convey to people. And same with Bill Maher. He's 71 years old, claims to fuck everybody.
He ain't fucking nobody.
I don't know. I've seen podcast interviews, like stories about women talking about his.
I
anyway.
bet he probably is, honestly.
But it's just, it feels like it's very lonely. It doesn't feel like a message that we should be conveying for the majority of the population to participate in, because then they're not going to replace themselves, and then we're going to have to import the third world and all that stuff. We get how that's bad.
Right.
I just don't think it's a good path, man.
No, I agree with you. And
Not to go on a big tangent there.
I would say hats off to you and the wife, because I knew you guys when you first started going out, and then now fast forward to where you guys are now, every Sunday churchgoers, and just
I don't know. She was down there.
Yeah,
this thing's powerful, man.
Yeah, every Sunday churchgoers. You guys are, obviously going to start a family at some point. So it's just a beautiful thing that you guys got going on.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And
unlike whatever the hell Chelsea Handler and Bill Maher are doing.
Listen, man.
And
It's their
here's the
prerogative.
thing.
We should be able to have freedom of choice.
I agree. And I'll also, to this point now, being someone who is a young father, you put yourself in a situation where, okay, my life is forced to change because I am not a Bill Maher, a Chelsea Handler, someone who's a millionaire,
right,
who has never been settled down, who has never slowed their life down to take care of a child. Mm-hmm. I think at a certain age, and quite frankly, I don't know what age that would be. I don't know what to say, because I know people who are, in their 30s who just started having kids. I think 30 is a decent age to start.
Yeah.
I think 40
is a little too
to me
late.
is too old. And here's why. You can say, well, I have everything. You could be a shut-in. You're not going to the bars. You're not doing whatever. Something switches where you're so used to however long. I was 22 when I found out that she was pregnant. Something switches in you when you've only had 22 years. And it really wasn't even 22 years. Maybe by the time I was 13, I was able to stay home alone without my parents there. And then I moved in with her when I was 22. So we're in a situation where you were only, responsible for yourself for so long.
Right.
These older people now. Let's a Bill Maher, Chelsea Handler. Do I think Bill Maher would make a great first-time father at 71?
Probably not. Probably not.
But something changes when you become a young parent, and now and it's not for every young parent. It's ones for it's only for the ones that genuinely want to take care of their child.
Right.
But there needs to be something that changes inside of you that goes, it's not about me anymore. And I feel as if that gets harder the older you are, when all you've known is taking care of yourself.
Yeah, you make a very good point. And I would say, too, as well, like, gathering...
Granted, I'm not sitting here saying in this economy or anything to get pregnant at fucking 22 years old, it was ridiculous, and he's the greatest blessing that I ever had. But yes, it makes your life difficult. It makes things not as easy to, get through your 20s.
And thank you for covering that base, too, because people like Charlie Kirk, they say, have more kids than you can afford. I don't know if that's the best message.
It's not the best message,
it's
but
not
it's
a
a
good
message. That's the problem is people that are millionaires and they're talking heads for an administration getting paid by how many PACs and how many, politicians to spew what they want you to say. Yeah, it sounds great. Have as many kids as you want. Yeah, that's someone who is a millionaire who literally does not have to worry about his children's children working. He can pass that money along, do whatever. He's trying to talk to you and I, to the working class,
Remember,
to people who are struggling to make ends meet. Have as many kids as you want. No, that's a terrible. That is a foolproof plan to resent your kids, to hate your life, to hate your wife, to hate everything about what's going on. That is not a message that I enjoy coming from the right, because it is a right-wing statement.
Yeah.
It's not just Charlie Kirk. I've heard, I don't know if Matt Walsh has said it, but who's the other one?
Michael Knowles.
I don't think Michael Knowles. I'm not thinking Daily Wire. I think Jordan Peterson said it too. Tucker Carlson said it. Have as many kids as you want. Have more kids than you can afford. It's great. Blah, 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 blah. All these millionaires.
Well, Tucker's a trust fund baby, so there's that.
Exactly. And he's a CIA baby.
There's
all
that.
These millionaires pandering to you to have more kids than you can afford and live this beautiful trad life. There's more to it than just listening to what they say. It may sound great, but when you put it on paper, it is not what it's hyped up to be. Go ahead.
What happened to J.D. Vance saying he wanted to implement a $5,000 child tax credit for each child?
I do believe that. I do believe they signed a bill that went
Did they
through.
actually?
I think that was in the big beautiful bill.
Was it actually?
I will Google that
because
make
that was
sure.
something that I thought would be really, really beneficial for families in this country. Now, granted, did it get taken out? Maybe not. Who knows? I thought it got taken out, to be completely honest with you. But I would love to be wrong.
I'll check. For new baby primary benefit, the Trump Accounts program, a baby bonus providing a one-time $1,000 government deposit for each baby born in 2025 through 2028, $1,000.
That was to be invested in the market and have them be have some standing in the market. That's not the $5,000 tax credit though that JD was talking about per person. And so that's the problem, is that gathering to what we know, going back to having kids at 40 or even 30, gathering back what we know.
Child tax credit can be worth up to $2,000 per qualifying child.
Right, but
2020.
Am I crazy though? Because I remember he was talking about $5,000.
No, they were talking about $5,000 towards a new child.
It's just so frustrating.
And I'll be honest with you. It doesn't do a goddamn thing. I hate to take the. I wouldn't know. I'm trying, Luke. I'm trying not to say the GD, and I've been saying it a lot today. I'm trying to be a better Christian, but it doesn't help. Half of these parents that are having kids are still in crippling debt. Their interest rates are 7.4%. Like, how are you supposed to? What's $5,000 going to do? Cover your interest for 2 years on your payment? That's not going to do it. $5,000 goes away like that.
I have a proposal.
Go ahead.
Eliminate interest.
I think we should eliminate interest. I think we should eliminate property tax. I think we should eliminate. I could go on.
There's a group that would be very, very angry about eliminating interest, and I don't know if we should say it, but you can look it up who that affects. It's not the Christians.
I'll say it, but you got to sign off right after.
No, I'm not doing it. We're gonna continue. You know exactly who it is. They wear smaller hats than you. That's all we'll say. But yeah, so why not have because I'm a creative guy. I think you're a creative guy too. Like, I have ideas. I'm not just complaining. Why not have proof? Okay, and unfortunately, you probably can't do this for homosexual marriages, unfortunately, because they cannot produce children. But if you make an incentive here to couples that we can reproduce, that you say, okay, we're going to eliminate interest entirely if you can prove that you're married. So the incentive is that you have more money that you can set aside to reproduce, because we do have a population problem that's coming, and families aren't being started. And the problem is, if you do wait till you're 40 or you're 30 and you've kind of established yourself, then unfortunately, with what we know about plastics, microplastics in the food and in the water, there's a chance, which is greater than what it used to be, that you might not be able to get pregnant because you're older and you've been growing up with this stuff in your water and your food.
That's all right. AI robots can make babies, so that's fine.
We're going to hell if that's the case.
Here's the problem, though, is I am not pro.
I think as soon as we have the artificial birthing chambers, we're fucked.
Oh, 100%.
We're fucked.
100%. But so here's where I'm at with this. If you are going to come here and tell me that you're going to give a stimulus check, you're going to give some sort of bonus to people that are married or people that have children.
It's not a bonus, though.
It's an incentive.
Right, but it's not a bonus. It's not a handout.
Well,
sorry, continue. I'm ruining your point.
No, you're not. I mean, are you handing these people money for popping kids out, yes or no?
No, I believe that you're taking away an expense that they would what
are you giving
otherwise
them?
Have.
What are you giving them?
Less expense. It's not a handout per se.
Here's my problem is I think that we would see the wrong demographic use that. You know what I mean?
Well, no, because you have to be married. You have to have proof of marriage.
So you're saying married couples having children,
right?
Okay.
Because then you incentivize everybody.
Okay. Because that would honestly be great, because once you get married, you're no longer eligible for government assistance for insurance purposes or whatever. So I think that honestly...
I've thought this through. Other countries have... We can't mention the country that did this, but other countries have done this, and it has worked.
Okay. No,
it's a good idea.
Yeah. I think there was just a miscommunication here. I was trying to make a point that it doesn't reflect your opinion. So no,
I don't think that the handouts, though, once again, we've talked about it before. Trump is not a real conservative. He gave out the COVID stimulus checks, which started inflation, because you can't print out money and just give it to people and expect everything to still happen like it was. It's just very frustrating. I'm sorry to go on that tangent. It's a very interesting topic, and I want to continue to talk about it on the show as we go on here, because this is a problem that we're gonna have to live with, unfortunately, if people don't start to reproduce soon.
Yeah,
like this is an issue.
Yeah,
very unfortunate. Do you want to end it there? We have a couple more topics that we could talk about. I don't know if you want to.
I mean, if you want to bring her up, we can. If not, I mean, it's no big deal. I don't even know what to say about it. If you want to go off, you can.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. One more. Kanye West. Do you think he's right now? Why do I say that? Well, pictures recently surfaced of Kim Kardashian and her firstborn son, Northwest, in Rome. Now, Kim was dressed how she usually dresses. Not great.
Wait a minute.
So this is...
Hang on, because I'm not up on the Kardashians.
So this is North.
North is a boy?
North is a girl.
You said firstborn son.
Did I?
Yes.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. I meant to say firstborn.
That's why I was so confused.
I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Okay, so this is North. So you see how North is dressed. You see how the Kardashians dress North. Guess how old Northwest is? She's 12.
I was going to say,
She's
I can't
12.
say a number. That's
she's
going to
12.
make you weird.
What do you think, Shad? Does this girl look like she's 12 to you?
No. Not even a little bit.
So,
a 12-year-old who's making TikToks with her rich mom and her rich friends with, I don't even know, how do you talk about this without getting flagged for, like, pedophilia? Because it's obvious.
What did Kanye say that they were going to do to his children, in particular his daughters? He said that a particular group was going to pimp them out and exploit them. And we all called him crazy, okay? I'm not going to replay the tape. You can do that at home. I would like this video to still be monetized because they like to demonetize the videos where we tell the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's disgusting. I'll be the first one to sit here. I won't be the first one, but
you won't be the last.
No, I'll sit up here and I will say that there's absolutely zero. That is this is exactly why certain celebrities should not be allowed to reproduce.
Tell that to Kanye. He didn't pick a good one.
I'm sorry,
It's
Kanye.
very unfortunate, man.
I'm sorry,
Very
Kanye.
unfortunate. And to even look at somebody like Justin Bieber, who organically got all this fame, and we can see now it wasn't good at all. No child should be able to have that much fame and that much people idolizing them, and they get all that, and they don't know how to cope. They can't really grow up as a normal human being because they have this thing, this attention that they're constantly getting, and this constant validation. Everybody's saying, hey man, you're fantastic.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
Yeah.
And that's not real.
And not only that, I mean, it wasn't even the you're fantastic, you're awesome. It goes back to the clips that resurface of how he was being treated when he was 15 years old.
And people were just leaving him with Diddy.
Who's James Corden?
Yeah, James Corden, yeah.
James Corden, the hosting that event and saying, you smell really good. How old are you? Blah,
and then
blah.
Pink at the award show is grabbing him, feeling him up, kissing him, and he's like, hey, he's running away.
Yeah,
it's like,
I mean,
this is not healthy for kids.
No, and this is exactly what we're talking about when you have someone like the Minneapolis shooter, you know, and you're looking in these, is this who you're idolizing? Is this who you're saying, you know, look at this 13-year-old, look at this 15-year-old, look at this 16-year-old, you know?
They're just setting this poor girl up for failure.
They really, I mean, they're not. They are, especially in the case that if Kanye's right and she's, you know, God forbid if something's going, you know, but you know what I'm saying? Like she's being set up pretty decently. She's probably, you know, got a pretty nice trust fund, but regardless, I mean, just who she is and how this is working and these pictures that are now surfacing of what she looks like together. I mean, Jesus, she's 12 years old. She's wearing a push-up bra. No 12-year-old should have a cleavage.
Listen, she doesn't look 12 in that picture. And people on the internet were, and I don't have any tweets prepared here because I didn't do that much effort into it. But people were outraged It's a 12-year-old girl. Just let her be a kid. If this is a child, let the child be a child. Let them have like as normal of a life as you can. I understand your parents are huge celebrities, right? It's not going to be exactly normal, but I don't think that. Go ahead.
Northwest and Prince George are the same.
Oh boy. Yeah, they look. They look
a crazy comparison.
It's just. Yeah, man. It's.
And she just turned 12.
That's crazy.
Just turned 12.
When I was 12, I was in 6th grade, I think. 7th grade, 6th grade, but I wasn't thinking about that.
You're 13 as a freshman, so you're probably 7th, 8th grade.
No, I was, well, yeah, you're right. It's just
12
crazy.
years old. Let's pull this up just so we have one more thing about her.
DM it to me real quick, and I'll do that.
Just so we have one more thing in regards to this, because she was making a TikTok. So I mean, let's see the TikTok of the 12-year-old.
Maybe we're being a little bit hard on her mom.
No, her mom's a shitty fucking mom.
We a shitty person in general. Let's be completely honest here. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna play that for you, that TikTok that they're making, and then we might sign off. That might be the end of it. We shall see.
Yeah, it's probably gotta be the end of it.
I mean, I don't know what else we're gonna talk about, but nevertheless, here is that TikTok. Here we go.
When I was 12 years old, let's put this into perspective. When I was 12 years old, my parents once took my phone, and I had a mental breakdown, and they would have thought, I vividly remember this, I had a breakdown that they were going to find my explicit music that I had.
Oh,
that said swear words.
times.
And I was freaking out about it. And now
Simpler
when you
times.
look back at it, my parents probably thought that I just had dozens of porn videos on my phone. And in retrospect,
The audio cut out. Folks, we are so sorry, but that's probably, is that it?
That's the episode.
That's the episode right there. The video the sound just cut out. So that's
Is that going to save?
Yeah, it'll be fine. That's God's way of saying goodnight. So we'll see you. Have a great rest of your night. And no matter what, I don't even know how to end it. How do we end it after that?
I think we just cut it.
All right, goodbye.
I literally love how we both stopped here.